Right, so a while ago I said a little brief thing about how a tree without other trees is not really a tree, and that was kind of a reference to how most trees fundamentally exist in the unit of at least woodland, if not forest. So even the sort of scrubland and chippier woodland trees very often have bacterial and fungal communities that connect them all, and they support each other directly and indirectly through an underground network and through shading and sheltering of the soil around them, changing the way the soil dries out, changing the way the soil heats up, cools down, and that, generally speaking, creates a healthy community of trees. Now, I want to introduce you to a tree that does not care about any of that at all. So today's planting is Dodonaea viscosa, which is the sand olive, which is one of the trees that in Zambia at least seems to move very readily into completely destroyed areas of just dead sand. And we're talking not soil at all, just dirt, free moving sand. And we're not a particularly windy country as far as sandy areas go, and so that doesn't tend to lead to massive dune formation or anything. But in that dead sand, these papery seeded little trees seed extremely well, and they often end up stabilizing the soil and creating the conditions where grassland, chippier woodland, eventually Mombia woodland and forest will come in through. They don't disappear as fast as some of the other trees once that happens. They stick around pretty well in a mixed woodland, and I would suspect even into a deciduous forest, because they will seed where their seeds land, even under fairly dense trees like mango trees. So this particular one was actually one that I dug up from under a mango tree, but don't worry, I learned my lesson from the Parinari, and this has been in a pot showing whether it can live for a while, and it dropped all its original leaves and has grown some more, so I decided it is time it can move out. But that is going in with companion plants purely for markers. It doesn't need any protection from other trees. It is extremely good at tolerating the elements here. I will note it's not an olive at all. You can't eat the fruit. It's just as it ages, its stem tends to end up sort of twisted and gnarled in a way that is very reminiscent of olives, and from a distance its leaves can be somewhat olive-like, although I personally don't think they look remotely similar in colour, so I think that loses me a little bit. But yeah, so that is going in with 3 Dracaena reflexa, 3 aloe cameroni, and 3 pieces of calico fetching koi, just to mark it out for me and to stop chickens and other small animals from destroying it while it is going in. But a very hardy tree, and one that is really good for stabilizing sandy soils, and doesn't need other trees with one exception. They are male and female on separate trees, and so although they are such independent trees and can set up shop where there are no other trees around, they do need at least one of the same species if they're ever going to reproduce. Right, so that should be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in again tomorrow, by which time, at the rate my eye is starting to feel better, I will hopefully be not confined to this little narrow limit between daylight and darkness for filming.